Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest decisions of your life. And even if everything goes perfectly, it still can be complicated or stressful. There's so much attached to it emotionally because a home is a reflection of who we are. The barriers to entry in real estate are really low, too low in fact. And most agents, once they're licensed, they don't pursue any additional education or training in order to improve their skills. As a result, they may not be intentionally misguiding their clients, but they're giving bad advice. Advice that could potentially be costing their sellers or buyers thousands of dollars. It's frustrating for me to see people in my area get bad advice from agents who don't necessarily know what they're doing. Most agents will promise a seller whatever they want to hear in order to get a listing. I approach it differently. I approach my clients as a consultant. I'm not there to pressure them, I'm there to provide them information and guidance so they can make a decision on whether they should even list the home. A lot of agents see real estate as a way of making quick money. They don't invest anything into their business. They figure they can simply go out, sign paperwork with a seller, get their home on the market, and wait for the commissions to roll in. It's not easy money. This is hard work, and you need to be skilled at what you do.
Really, the purchase of a house is an emotional thing. You know, they buy it because of their family and their children and inviting friends over. They want to be the king of their castle. They want to really be proud of what they own. They can imagine their friends sitting there. They can imagine their kids playing in the backyard because it's so cool backyard. Now you're in a situation where they're emotionally involved in your home. And I can tell you one thing I've known over my 35 years, when someone gets emotionally involved in a purchase, money becomes much less an obstacle.
As an individual agent, it was tough trying to do everything myself and develop the entire business myself. Partnered with the NAEA, I now have the guidance and systems and backroom support in order to get the job done at the highest level for my clients. Jay and Mike's experience selling thousands of homes and the systems they put together has benefited me through the NAEA 7 laws they put together and their proven and repeatable system for selling homes for up to 18% more than what traditional agents do. I don't sell real estate as a hobby. As a member of the NAEA, I'm in constant contact with other agents. They're top agents in their markets who also have the systems and strategies in order to sell homes at a high level. And we all work together to ensure that all of us are staying at the top of our game.
Let's face it, for most people, selling your home is going to be the largest financial transaction you'll ever make in your lifetime.
And that's your home equity on the line, not your real estate agent, so you don't want to take chances.
You don't want to gamble. You don't want to feel like you're playing the slots at a casino. What you want is the biggest payoff possible when you sell your home.
That's why we spent years researching real estate around the world and working in our local communities to develop a method to maximize that payoff.
The result is a proven, repeatable system that works for any home in any market.
We look at it like this. Your home is not just your home, it's also the largest investment that you probably have made. And you wouldn't want to utilize the equity that you have. You wouldn't want to leave money on the table. So we look at it from that approach is how do we help you maximize the investment you've made in real estate to make sure that you walk away with the most amount of money. Over the years, we became very frustrated in the real estate industry that there just wasn't a true level of professionalism that every single real estate agent was kept up to. A level of integrity, a level of expertise, a level of understanding of how to get the most for their client, whether they're buying or selling. And that's the reason that Mike and I founded the National Association of Expert Advisors. That's the reason that we opened Kinder Reese as a brokerage. Selling lots of homes is great, but the most important factor in being successful as a real estate agent isn't the number of homes you sell, it's how well and how much value you add to the transaction.
Every single month, every single quarter, every single year is really dialing in the real estate model because it's broken. It's bottom line broken. When you look from a brokerage model, there's people out there just running the business and not really running it the right way. And so I feel like it's my obligation, it's my duty. I mean, I speak to people who don't even know how many leads they get. I speak to people who don't know any of their metrics. And you know, that would be so unacceptable with most other industries. And it's just shocking when you talk to real estate agents, they just haven't been trained on any of that.
I serve homeowners in the greater Omaha metro area. My team is broken out into specialists. I believe that in order to best serve our clients, you need to have people that specialize in a particular area, because no one can be an expert in more than a few areas. So I work strictly with sellers. I have buyer specialists on my team, a marketing coordinator, an information coordinator, and a closing administrator. You know, having a team allows us to provide our clients with the best service possible. And the results of it are, last year I sold over 140 homes. My market time is less than half that of the average agent in the metro area, and homes represented by me are 7.5 times more likely to sell.
One thing about Troy that is very, very beneficial to all of his clients is his ability to really manage the system and the process that just is really a difficult process and can be very stressful at times. I think he takes the part of actually being proactive so seriously that the client experience with him is just second to none.
As a member of the NAEA, I have constant training on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and even yearly seminars that I go to keep my skills as sharp as possible. I'm in weekly training calls, coaching sessions. I attend regular masterminds around the country to gain knowledge and information from other top agents in other marketplaces. I figure whatever they're using that works, I need to implement and use in Omaha.
You know, the way we teach people to run a real estate business is common sense. It's just not common knowledge. When you get your real estate license, they say, you plan on about 6 months of no income. You know, and it's 6 months. Who can afford to get into real estate? Well, it's no wonder 80% of them get out of the business in the first year. And it's just because it's the way that, this old school business of way of doing things. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do that are productive and are going to get results right away. You just got to focus on those things. And fortunately, those are the things that, we do first to drive, profitability.
I've been in real estate for a long time, and I started as an agent, was an agent for about 10 years at the beginning of my career before I got into management and went on from there. But I'll never forget, I took over a listing that hadn't sold, and I really thought that the property was priced right. But the funny thing is, when I walked up to the front door, I said, "What's that? I'm smelling something." They actually had an old tire and an old fish tank in the corner of their garage near their front door as you walk up to their front door. You could actually get that smell as you're going through. That couple, by just taking the tire and the fish tank away, and I went in and we had them redo their children's bedroom because black wasn't really what everybody wanted with satanic people. Just repainted. It did take 2 coats. Just repainting it changed the whole thing. We actually raised the price and sold it within 3 weeks. With just minor things that we changed. But you have to have an agent smart enough to know that.
I think that's fundamentally the problem in the first place, is no one's making and providing this stuff in one place. They're leaving the agent up to hope and any, miny, mo as the only real strategy of finding the answers.
Often sellers hire the agent that promises them the highest price. Recently I sold a home in which I determined the home should be priced at $290,000. Another agent told the seller should be priced closer to $350,000. Initially, they hired that other agent, but 6 months later, with the home being vacant the whole time and not having a single offer, they called me back and they said they knew I was right. They hired me and I implemented my system. Within the first 30 days, we had 3 offers on the home and it sold for 100% of the asking price. That other agent's pricing suggestion not only cost them $10,000 in mortgage payments on a vacant home, but also added additional stress to their lives that they didn't need.
Buying a home is so much more than just picking out the home. There's just so many other things that are involved in that process that you really need to take into consideration. Our smart home buying strategy manages over 80 different variables that are involved in the buying process because there are so many parts. And when you identify these variables, it allows you to be proactive. But ultimately, I think at the end of the day, it helps a home buyer find what I would consider as the perfect home
and negotiate the best price and terms.
They use this metaphor. They're like, hey, listen, I could give you all the ingredients for a chocolate cake. I could give you flour, I could give you baking powder, salt, sugar, chocolate, eggs, milk, the whole thing. And then I could say, hey, go make a cake. And if you get lucky, you're gonna make a cake. And if you make a cake, it may not be a tasty cake. Or I can give you the ingredients and then I can give you all the recipe that goes along with it. And the simplest way to put it is that we've got a recipe here. And if you look at the people who have come through the system and would follow the recipe that Mike and Jay have laid out, they've had incredible year-over-year success.
There are over 100 variables involved in the home selling process. One of them that I think is very important is the pre-inspection. Doing that inspection up front to prevent a buyer from coming in and asking for additional repairs that maybe we don't want to agree to. And just managing that alone can save clients thousands of dollars. In addition to that, there are many other variables as well in the NAEA process to ensure clients are protected and get as much money as possible. My role as an expert advisor is always changing because the real estate market's always changing. The market moves up and moves down. They're always changing how to market homes and best attract buyers. In any other area, people seek out professionals that are at the cutting edge of their industry, professionals who seek out new information and are on top of the latest information and technology for their area of expertise. In real estate, it seems like that's a rarity rather than what's the norm. The greatest thing about being a member of the NAEA is it gives me the latest tools to be the best.
For us, it's all about understanding the seller or the buyer and what their needs are, and really being able to get them exactly what it is that they're looking for, and removing all the problems and challenges that you typically might run into in a home purchase or a home sale.
I'm from England and I've moved house about 15 times so far in my life, and I'm tired of moving house, especially now with marriage and with my family. It was time to we needed to really find somewhere where we could put down roots and not move again. That was really the vision, that was our dream. So with our expert advisor, we basically shared that dream. The way we told our son, we said, we're going to buy a forever house. That's what we told Alex, our 2.5-year-old. Because although he's 2.5, he's already moved 3 times. This is his 3rd move, and he's 2.5. Everybody says that selecting a house, buying a house can be difficult, problematic, can drag on. And we watched all the shows on TV where you've got people and they see 5, 10, 15, 20 houses, and each time they're like, no, 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 no. When I see those shows, for me it's like there's something wrong with that agent, because the agent's continually showing the client things they don't want. In our case, our expert advisor, he actually said, I think I know exactly the house you want. But he said, before I show you it, let me show you some others so you can get a sense of comparison. There wasn't a single house he showed us that didn't fit our dream. So there was no wasted effort. I mean, the first one, he said, you'll see the first one, you'll want to buy it. And we saw the first house and we're like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that. We'll buy that. Everything was perfect. It was exactly what we were looking for. I immediately could see myself, my family, living here and my kids going to school from here. Everything was it was like a dream come true. You're filming me here. I'm sitting in my dream now. It became real. That requires skill and as I said, a strategy to make this happen. I can't praise our expert advisor enough for the fact that I'm sitting here in our forever home.
We're really excited because not only are we helping, homeowners with maximizing their home sale, we've been able to actually teach this process to other agents around the country. We tallied up and came to the conclusion that, homeowners literally spend tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary expenses when buying a home. And they don't even really get the right advice a lot of the time. So if you are buying a home and if you're working with an expert advisor, the satisfaction in making sure that you don't spend that unnecessary money, and at the same time really look at the home as not only an emotional purchase but also as an investment.
The overall experience looking for the house is probably the easiest thing I've ever done as far as big purchases. Definitely easier than even buying a car or renting an apartment or even starting a basic TV service. I mean, it was quite easy. Everything was one package for us. It was like the complete home buying strategy was already set up into play before we even started looking for the home. Our agent came to us with a detailed listing of certain homes, this being the #1 home on the list, of course. To know that I could contact my agent directly, email, text, phone, get a quick response, not only about the pricing of the home, but also the behind the scenes as far as leasing and what it would cost, down payments, everything seemed to be in-house, set up quite easy for both of us.
My expert advisor helped me to develop a smart home buying strategy. He was able to find the home that I loved with all the different features. I'm a very picky buyer. I always said this was my next to the last resting place, so I wanted it to be perfect, and he was able to help me find that. There were times when I wasn't able to come here from San Antonio, and I can call him and say, can you take care of this for me? And he actually did, and so that helped me a whole lot. It saved a whole lot of time. If anyone's looking for a new home, I would advise them to use an expert advisor. I was looking for my dream home, and my expert advisor helped me to find my dream home.
The values that make me successful in selling real estate are the same values I teach my little girl Annalise, which are to work hard, never give up, be polite, and help others. I think having these values in mind at all time is what allows me to serve my clients at the highest level and make sure they have a great experience. I also think these same values will help transform my precious little girl into an amazing young lady.
I mean, the thing that strikes me about Jay and Mike both is just how authentic and real and the level of passion they have, not to necessarily build a business, which is a byproduct of what they're doing, but it's really just changed the real estate industry because they have such a passion to see real estate agents succeed and the consumer get the best advice they could possibly get.
Coaching other real estate agents who are like-minded and want to be successful is the best job in the world, because you get to help people that truly want to be successful, and you get to take all the barriers down, and you get to show them a simple step-by-step plan on how to get there.
We're working on the best practices, the real world experience, the things that are going on today, whether it's what's working online, what's working with actually running the business side of things, the team, the technology, the automation, the things that are out there. Some of the things that I'm most excited about didn't even really exist when I got into real estate.
What we've learned in working with thousands of the top agents around the country is that there are over 115 different variables involved in the home selling process. And it's whether or not you maximize those variables that's going to determine whether your home sells at the top of the market, middle of the market, or the bottom of the market.
The most important result is my client satisfaction. From the thanks I get at closing to the referrals I get for years after a sale, I know I've done a good job and my systems and team concept works because my clients tell me so. I'm proud of the hundreds of families I've helped in the Omaha area, but I'm more excited about the learning and training that I do to help me grow my business and help thousands of more people in the future.